this this is my favorite page for this issue. Why? Because of this particular not panel, this particular drawing, this part, the Joker being a stand-up comedian. It's it's one of those it's one of those things that I really wonder about, the Joker being a comedian, and let's let's just switch. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really looking for on a Joker story or Batman story is a story about the Joker being a stand-up comedian. Yeah, because like I said in my other videos, I've been following comedians on the internet. Um, I like I watch the Netflix specials of a lot of comedians, Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, and Bill Burr, those guys, and some of George Carlin, the first comedian that I followed. Um, and a lot of those guys are just savages. Actually, all of them are savages when it comes to comedy. And when I watched The Dark Knight, I thought he's gonna be that, but he wasn't. Especially during the scene where he did the pencil trick, I thought he's gonna be a comedian. But I mean, he's gonna put on a show, um, and make people laugh. But like I said, they most of the time the writers just focus on the Joker being a criminal and a psychopath. Sometimes, well, he's a criminal, kind of a criminal philosopher, psychopath. That's the Joker has become, um, in the modern age. Unlike before, in the '60s, the Batman TV show. Okay, so what I always wondered is how would what kind of set, what kind of comedy set would the Joker have if I'm gonna write the Joker's jokes? What kind of jokes would he tell, right? Because let's say, well, over here in this story, it's kind of, I think I read something like he's he sucks as a comedian, so he probably failed as a as a performer, and then probably affected him. I think that's what happened in the Killing Joke too. Yeah, yeah, he's a comedian there as well, but I don't remember even in that even in that story, Alan Moore uh, focused even more on his illness, his insanity. He didn't dwell too much on his jokes, and besides, he failed as a comedian, so his jokes were bad. What if what if Joker became a really good comedian? What would be an what kinds of jokes would he write? What how, because if you're gonna consider the Joker, he's gonna be first uh, psycho, a psycho, because that's the Joker. He's insane, and he's violent, and his mind is twisted in the most unexpected ways, and violent ways. But at the same time, if he's a successful comedian, he's gonna have to be funny. So how are you? What kinds of jokes will you write to make uh, something really twisted funny? Of course, a lot of that's not easy to do. But if it's the Joker, I mean, that's not impossible to do. Rather, but if it's the Joker, it's got to be chilly as well. It's not. It doesn't. It uh, the chilliness. I don't know if you should call it chilliness. So, aside from being twisted, it's it's gotta it's gotta it's gotta uh, it's gotta produce more, or it needs to draw more complex reaction from you, because it's uh, it's the Joker. He's supposed to be a genius, and I don't know why he would fail in comedy if he's really good. Yeah, I don't think the Joker becoming the Joker is should fail in comedy. Okay, if I'm gonna write the Joker, he's gonna be a successful comedian, a twisted, violent comedian with uh, with really fucked up ideas, but still manages to make them funny. Probably controversial. It would say a lot of inappropriate things, but yeah, and something's just gonna snap. Maybe a tragedy that happens in his personal life. Somebody dies, or a real change in society happens that makes him um, lose it. But as for Joker sucking and and being a genius at the same time, because he excels in everything that he does. Okay, he's up there with Batman. Batman. He's up there with Batman in terms of because the Batman couldn't take him down easily. He couldn't. In a lot of stories, they're an equal. They're equals, and so if you're equal with Batman, you gotta be the shit, right? And so that means you could have excelled in almost everything that you do. And then you call yourself the Joker, and you suck at telling jokes. That doesn't make sense, right? So why would you why would you choose that name where you don't, where you're not good at, and while in everything else you're awesome. So that just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, so that's why I like this image over here. Looks like, kind of looks like a skinny Jim Carrey, and he's even holding a note. There's a joke in there. Let me read it. How many does GCPD does it take to change a light bulb? There are two it's. Okay. How many GCPD does it take to change a light bulb? It only takes one Batman. Yes, this Joker sucks at comedy. I don't get it. Maybe it's funny to I don't know. Comedy night. Let's read the other. I like pages like this too. Because these kinds of pages give um, little more tidbits for you to chew on, and you just dive in and take a closer look, like I just did, because and makes it a little more interesting and authentic, because uh, comedians would some of them would have notes. Okay, there's a ticket, or maybe a comedy featuring, I can't read it. Jack Napier. Okay, I can't read the other word. Why don't you love me? And of course, there's Harley Quinn and Batman. Batman's silhouette on the buildings. Hmm. Anyway, so this is my favorite page on this issue.